So you might be wanting to trade your guitar, sell your guitar, swap your guitar.
Horrible idea.
It is a horrible. Don't do it. Just keep it. Guitars are just for life.
No, some guitars are stupid.
Well, we want to go through our top 5. It's a 5 list.
Just 5.
Just 5 today. We got lots of lists coming your way this week. But top 5 reasons you might be getting a low offer on that guitar of yours. Or amplifier.
Whatever.
Or pedal.
Yeah.
Probably low offer in your pedal anyway, no matter what. But coming from the retail side of things to the selling our things as well, we've been through it all.
Yes.
We've seen it all. So thanks for joining us. Click like, subscribe.
Hit the old bell.
And prepare thyself for our journey down memory lane. Okay, number 1. It's a simple thing.
It's probably the biggest one.
Demand.
What? Crazy.
Let's say you bring in, let's just use a Squire right now, for example. You want to sell a Squire. Right now in the market, there is a flooding of Squires in the market because Fender built too many of them. So if you're trying to sell your Squire, don't.
Thanks, Fender.
They
really
kind of
screwed me.
Well, I mean, it's sort of like what Tesla's done with like the car market right now. They've sort of been like a disruptor. Like, hey, by the way, we're doing a huge sale and tax credit at the same time. Enjoy that. And they drop the mic. And so it's just messed up the whole, like, everyone else's EV sales were like, what's happening? And then they're selling a ton of Teslas. Model S, I believe. I know this because people are trying to talk me into getting one. I haven't fallen victim yet to it. It's very tempting.
Old strong, Baxter.
Holding strong.
Old strong.
Got my 2006 little dumper there. It's just still rocking and rolling. It still works. So I'm of that. As
long as
but anyway,
works.
so yeah, that's. I mean, it is like if the shop has a ton of the guitars you're trying to sell them, they probably don't need your guitar.
True.
Or just the market is flooded. So it's a tricky.
I mean, that's just a normal. Just everything works that way, right? If your thing is rare and people really want it, then you're gonna get a higher offer. If they don't,
it's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Mods.
Now you might think you're making your guitar better, and you might be making your guitar better.
And for you probably are. However, it's just because you can do a thing doesn't always mean you should.
Yeah, because a lot of guys will, swap pickups out is the most common, or like, hey, And
there's a rare occasion where someone brings one in with then that's it, like swap pickups, and it sounds great. But if you've added concentric push-pull knobs that are wired in reverse and they control the parallel series transistor, blah 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 blah.
Is that a real thing?
No, I don't know.
Okay,
I just said words. I said words that I hear.
Just like word vomit.
But that's how I feel sometimes when people are, man, I got this American Pro and I did this thing.
That's how I feel when the guitar companies release new guitars sometimes
too.
And then this is the newest version of the same thing that we've had for 38 years.
You're going to be able to get 97 combinations on this Les Paul.
Swiss Army knife. I'm like, but that knife cannot kill Crocodile Dundee.
No.
Unless you're a Navy SEAL, maybe you could figure that out.
Maybe.
Or maybe a Delta Force. Like who would win like in a straight fight?
But I feel like they would just shoot you.
I thought the SEAL could swim away. What do you think?
Saw those balls they balance on their noses.
So many jokes there. Now we're making fun of Navy SEALs. What are you on a Patreon?
I know we're idiots. We're probably going to die. We love Navy SEALs, by the way. We have some good friends.
No, we do. I make fun of them all the time. This is my joke.
Knowing that they would kill us.
I mean, the one that's a really good friend of ours. He's a monster. He's so big, Ben. But anyway, it doesn't make sense. How does he even fit in a boat?
I'm just glad they're our friends.
Yeah, it doesn't make it. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Number 3. Golly gee. Okay, this one kind of works both ways, back and forth. It's a brand that, if you take it to a shop and it's a brand that they don't carry, if it's some weird sort of brand, oftentimes it's just something they can't sell. Let's say you bring a really great electric guitar into a banjo shop.
Right.
That's an extreme example. They're not going to want it, most likely.
We get that here sometimes, right? Like we get really nice mandolins or banjos, and sometimes we'll know or appreciate that they're really nice, but we just know that we don't have the people looking at us who want to buy those things because we don't normally sell them. And it sort of works that way with brands. So if you have the best Fend fret metal guitar ever, we're maybe not.
We're not in your shop. No, it's not. It's we just don't have the customer. We don't have the clientele for it. So like we often recommend like, hey, maybe you should take it here or just sell it on this type of source, or there's always reverb.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with reverb. Well, that's what we come in for, and that's why we get paid, I suppose. But
Well, it's not that we don't appreciate that thing and know that
No.
and recognize that it's cool. It's just not our thing. Now you bring a Gibson in here.
correct.
That is
that's
in
the
our
flip side.
wheelhouse, and that's when it'll benefit you because
And we're not Gibson
yeah,
dealers
that's right.
for some strange reason. But but yeah, we've had people bring us harps, cellos,
All sorts of things.
double basses, and sometimes we can find a home for them.
There's no harm in asking. Just don't be shocked if we're like, oh yeah, we don't know, or we can not give you what this is worth.
Number 4 comes into play is when the guitar needs a ton of repairs. There's no strings on
What?
it. There's cracks in it. There's just questionable things that we can't quite figure out on the spot. Don't be angry at this guitar shop if you bring this guitar and you don't know what it is, and they're gonna have to do a lot of research because it's been modded. The pickups have definitely been swapped. It's been routed out differently. That's for sure gonna affect the resale value. Doesn't matter what Uncle Jed said this guitar was worth. The real value is what someone's going to be able to pay for it.
Well, sometimes people bring in guitars and they're like, I think everything works, and there's no strings on it, so we're not really testing. You know what I mean? Like it's just
We'll test
it's a pain for us to test it. And sometimes if we are just full of guitars, we got so much inventory, we got so many, and it's a thing similar. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't feel super worth
No,
worth taking the
it is
time to
true.
repair it to test it. Or
Step
whatever.
1: bring a guitar with strings. If it doesn't have strings, it is tricky. Just so we can at least
Like wipe it off. Like
clean the dust off.
This is kind of ties into this, but yeah, if you've not touched that guitar in 17 years, and suddenly you want to sell it, like clean it up a little bit.
Well, sometimes it's not the guitar player. Somebody's passed away or just giving it to them, and
Wipe
it was
off.
cool. We got to do this. It was neat the other day. Someone brought in this really weird old bass that had been modded and stuff, but it turned out like we knew it was something special. I was like, that's a 1959 neck.
Yeah.
So we took the guitar apart and started looking. It was like, you have something here. They thought it was maybe worth a few $100. I'm like, this neck alone is worth a few $1,000s.
Yeah.
This body.
And that was really cool.
And they were like, oh my God, really? I was like, don't sell it though. Like, just hang on to it. It's going to be worth a lot more in the future. And it was a young girl was inheriting it from her, I believe, uncle. And it was like, this is a cool bass for you to start playing on. And just because it had been modded, it had been stripped, the finish. And the pickups were not original, but there was the roots to it were there.
Well, a lot of these things we're saying, like mods and stuff, if we're talking like legit 50s, 60s vintage things, it changes the game a bit.
Yes.
None of these rules apply the same way. If you have that,
90s,
90s
Yamahas.
or 90s Yamahas.
Frankie. Now he's Takamine, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a talk guy.
does be talk
Number 5, you started to allude to a minute ago. That's when, so as a retailer, a lot of these shops have prior commitments to the manufacturers they work with, where they might either be on like a monthly sort of expectation, a SKU fill that they have to have, or like certain amount of X and Y products, and your timing upon bringing in that product to sell them might just be downright shitty.
Yeah.
It just might, because they might, hey, we've got a $60,000 PO that's hitting in the same day that you're bringing in this guitar to sell. Like we just can't maybe take that guitar. We know these X, Y, and Z are getting ready to arrive and hit tomorrow.
Yeah, if we know we got 30 PRS CEs coming in the next day, and we just paid for them, and then you walk in with a fantastic CE, it's not your fault. There's no way you could know, but we're less likely. And I've told people that before, like, hey, listen, this is just really poor timing. Like, if you want to hang on to this,
It is just hang on, like wait a month.
And then come back to us.
Or just sell it now. But if you need to sell it. But I mean, we just got a huge PO for purchase order from that we ordered over a year ago from Two Rock. So we have a bunch of Two Rocks getting ready to hit, and so like, we're not looking to buy any like pre-owned Two. Actually, if you have any pre-owned Two Rocks, we'll take them. We always do. We sell them immediately.
Bad example. Yeah.
No, but we saw this I got this huge slot of Sterlings getting ready to hit too, which is awesome because we haven't had those in a while. And some Bloomfields. I think those are probably all already sold, and a couple classic reverbs, maybe some studios. But it's a big one. So when you see those, you're like, as the shop, you're like, wow, because we're not Sweetwater.
What?
I know we don't have. What are they? Sales engineers? Like 1,000. 3,000 sales engineers around the corner. It's just kind of just us.
They're fancy headpieces.
I know we don't have the headpieces.
Doing their stress balls where they walk around and make sales.
I did.
That's how I like the picture.
I got the AirPods. Like so I got those for Christmas. I think this noise canceling ones. I haven't used them yet because technology scares me a little bit. So I'm sort of slow to some technology. But I had put them in the other day and didn't even put music in or anything and didn't do a phone call. I just had the noise canceling feature on, so I wouldn't have to listen to people.
Oh,
And then you could act like you're listening to stuff, which was really cool. The only problem is people can't see them sometimes.
no, that's true.
So I wish they had like a
sign that says, "Hey."
Almost I wish they had
AirPods
like a
in.
thing on top that I would wear, and they would be like on top of your ears like that. I have some of those as well that are my sort of signal to not talk to me, I guess. But I think that's it. That's some pretty good advice. Like, please share other things on why your experiences and like what you've had happen with like shops or folks you're selling to directly. That's just us coming from a guitar shop.
Yeah.
Just trying to give you some pointers on like what might be happening. And like the biggest takeaway is just like timing might be bad. Be understandable what the shop has coming in, their sort of resources, and take care of your guitar.
Take your guitar.
Bring in a nice guitar.
And no, too, when you come into these shops, it's not personal unless you piss
it
them
is.
off. But probably it's not.
No,
And,
it has
you know,
been before. I've seen that, and we've done it here too. Like when somebody comes in, it's really rude and horrible and mean. I'm like, just do not offer them what that guitar is worth.
Then it can become, but probably
I had a woman do that once, and like I won't say names because I can't remember it. But she was being horrible. And that's I forgot the director's name. He used to say horrible. He said it to me. Get back to your acting is horrible. He's from Virginia. I'm like, how do you say horrible like that? Horrible. But she was just being so brutal and just mean. And like she did something. It was an ex-husband's guitars, and she was just like, she took him from him, then he died, and it was just like it was just a negative feeling. I was like, ouch. I know what you did. Here's what I'm gonna offer you for the guitars. Take it or leave it. And she's like, well, that seems low. I'm like, it is low. But you have been horrible in this relationship, and you've been horrible in that relationship. And that's karma.
I was gonna say some karmic things
That's
coming
karma.
back. Yeah.
And she ended up selling us the guitars, I believe. This was years ago. Gosh, a long time ago. But there's the old train.
Yeah.
That's CSX. It's different than Amtrak.
The old gray whistle.
The old gray whistle rolling down. But thanks again for joining us.
We will see you next time.
That's my bitch session right there at the end. But no, just have fun. Sell your guitars. Don't sell your guitars. Just enjoy it. And that's a little bit of advice. Share yours with friends here. Peace be with you.